Welcome back to TTS Daily. I'm Yi right here in our first story of the day. Guess what? Flying cars is about to be a reality in 2026. Chinese car maker XPeng is expected to mass produce flying cars by next year, okay? Their flagship model is known as the XPeng Aero. Look at this. It's known as a land aircraft carrier. It is a 6-wheeler vehicle that contains a 2-seat passenger drone, a flying drone. As you can see, people are going to start asking, wait, so this is a flying car? Isn't this basically a drone enlarged to fit humans? After drones have been successfully employed for massive light shows for festivals and drones employed for food deliveries, now we have drones enlarged to fit humans. Also, one more thing that people will note. So this is a flying car? Isn't this basically an improved version or basically just like a helicopter? Yeah, I mean, yes. So the flying cars that we're going to have doesn't seem to be the one that I dreamt of or the one that we knew of in Back to the Future 2, but more of this, okay? So the idea of this car is basically drivers park the vehicle, detach the drone and fly, reducing travel time and improving access to remote areas like mountainous areas, okay? XPeng's new facility will produce 10,000 of these LAC units annually and delivery will start next year, okay? This is China's low altitude sector, a transport sector for both manned and unmanned flights. So this is a hint, there's a possibility in future flying cars will be totally autonomous, driven by AI, yeah. And this sector is expected to hit $200 billion in 2025 and double in 10 years. Wow. XPeng is also investing heavily in humanoid robots. They unveiled the Iron Robot in November 2024 to complete with Tesla's Bot, investing up to, as per current, $13.8 billion. I truly believe humanity is about to enter a golden age because with advancement in AI and robotics and better energy efficiencies, we could really enjoy economies of scale and reduce inflation. What do you think? We're in Japan, Tokyo right now, where on 11 March 2025 at 9:50 AM, Mogami, a Japanese IRL in real life streamer, was fatally assaulted multiple times during an IRL live stream on Who Watch platform while walking in Shinjuku, Tokyo, Japan. She was live streaming to over 6,000 viewers who witnessed the attack live. Mogami screamed for over a minute before a blood-covered man with a sharp object appeared on screen. The attacker allegedly asked, "Are you dead yet?" and was described as a hater or anti-fan by viewers. The suspect, a man in his 40s, has been arrested at the scene and he claimed that he knew Mogami and didn't mean to unalive her. There's been two alleged speculations for his motive. The first one being he is a viewer and made donations to Mogami, but then for certain reasons he was blocked and he wanted a refund. And the second alleged speculation is that he wanted repayment for an unpaid loan. Unfortunately, Mogami suffered wounds to her head, neck and abdomen. She was found unconscious, rushed to the hospital where she succumbed to her injuries and was pronounced dead. Witness account by bystanders said that they heard screams and saw Mogami lying on the ground and the suspect was detained by police. Police investigations are currently ongoing with them reviewing the live stream footage for more evidence. This isn't the first fatal incident involving real-life IRL streamers. There are similar incidents in 2024 where a Korean YouTuber was also fatally assaulted by his rival outside of a courthouse in Busan, and in 2023 when a Chinese live streamer lost his hand when a man suddenly started attacking him with a sharp object. Live streaming is a very lucrative field, even although a very tough one. Everything is not all lights and glamour as you see on live. There is actually a lot of planning to keep the audience engaged while you watch. And if you want to, if you want to embark this route on doing live streaming, most of the big live streamers, they actually have a lot of expenses monthly just on security alone. And if you're up and coming, affording security is just not affordable. We're back in Singapore right now where there have been a fatal incident involving brothers on March 11, 2025 at an 11th-floor HDB flat in Block 187 Boon Lay Avenue, Singapore. The victim, a 56-year-old man, was found motionless and pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect, a 58-year-old man, was arrested at the scene and the suspect is the victim's brother. Preliminary investigations indicate that the victim and the suspect were brothers who lived together. Okay, police arrived, arresting the suspect and cordoned off the unit with the body removed at 5:30 PM. Witness account include neighbors reporting hearing loud arguments between the duo multiple times, and neighbors also seeing a man in handcuffs at 1 PM surrounded by police at the staircase. Police investigation are ongoing at this point. Take note, travellers using Singapore Airlines, as of effective 1st April 2025, SIA will prohibit charging power banks via onboard USB ports or using them to charge personal devices during flights. This is a good move. This is following with AirAsia and Thai Airways, who also ban power banks use on board. Power banks must be carried in cabin baggage only and not allowed in checked baggage, and up to 100 watt-hour allowed without approval. Over 100 watt-hour to 160 watt-hour requires SIA approval. So this has been done to reduce the risk of power banks catching on fire or even exploding on board flights. People are wondering, so what about how we're going to entertain children on long-haul flights? I mean, most of your seats have power outlets which you can use to charge your devices, right? You don't need to use those power outlets to charge your power banks and use your power bank to charge your devices. Use those USB ports to charge your devices directly, even though the output might be slightly lower. But we have in-flight entertainment, or maybe get a good book to read, find something else. Think about the 90s when we didn't have iPad or mobile phone and devices. I mean, how to entertain kids on long-haul flights? How about talking to your kids? For our last story of the day, a man has been charged for indecent exposure on March 12, 2025. The story happened on January 23, 2025 on a flight to Singapore, where the accused, Brilliant Angjaya, a 23-year-old Indonesian national, allegedly unzipped his pants and exposed his private parts to a female cabin crew member while seated. So what happened was he used a blanket to cover himself, and then he set up his mobile phone to record the act. He then exposed himself as the flight attendant served his meal. The flight attendant reported the incident to her supervisor, and Angjaya was arrested by airport police upon landing at Changi Airport, and his phone was seized for investigation. So he was charged on March 12, 2025, and the charge is indecent exposure. Angjaya intends to plead guilty and he is unrepresented in court. He expressed regret and apologized. He also asked for expedited court process, citing 1.5 months in Singapore. And the judge asked Angjaya, were you planning to be in Singapore on tourist visa? Which Angjaya replied that Singapore was only supposed to be a transit stop. The penalty for indecent exposure is up to 1 year jail or a fine or both.